Hello, everybody, and welcome to our stream. I'm so excited to see everyone today because we have a very exciting topic and very new co-host for me, Romario, joining me today from London. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
Doing well. We are going to talk about short clips and vertical content today from your live streams and videos. But before we dive in, just a few quick introductions, a few quick chat callouts, because there's a lot to talk to you about today, but we just wanted to make sure that we start with a little intro. So for those who doesn't know me, I'm Anya with Restream marketing team, and today with me is Romario. He is leading our Restream Clips program. And would you like to introduce yourself real quick and tell us what you do at Restream, and maybe a little bit of your backstory? How did you join us?
For sure. So as Anya said, I'm Romario. I've been at Restream now for just short of 2 months. This Q&A is actually going to be the perfect litmus test for me to make sure I know this product well, as I think I do. I've been in London now for around 6 years. My background is product marketing and design. And I've been kind of a sideline fan of Restream over the years. I think what you do is great and what we do is great. I think this next kind of evolution of Restream, where we start thinking about post-production, is really exciting, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Love it. Super exciting. So today we are going live on multiple different channels and destinations, including LinkedIn, YouTube, X, Facebook. Also, we have Instagram and TikTok going today, and we are also using our relatively new dual format feature that allows you to stream in horizontal and vertical at the same time. So whichever platform you are watching us on and whichever device you're watching us on, you should have the perfect view of us optimized for your screen, which is super exciting. And I also saw one comment in the chat about the new cool thing in my background. So as you can see, I have this little short sign.
Much better than mine.
Actually, there is a fun story about this one because, well, first of all, it's like a little Easter egg, right? Like it's supposed to talk, to give us a little bit of a hint of what this conversation is going to be about. Of course, it's going to be about shorts, TikToks, and vertical clips, which is what we are here to discuss, demo, and also update you on some new things that we built recently. But it's also special one because I obtained that sign in London when we were speaking at LiveCon, and that was the first time when I actually met Romario in person. If you remember, that's where we first met. And so it's kind of like very multi-layered little Easter egg in my background. So I appreciate the comment. But yes, thank you, YouTube, for inviting us to this thing, and thank you for giving us this little sign, because now we can even illustrate what this live clipping conversation is going to be about. Real quick, we, of course, invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching us on YouTube. Follow us and sign up. Comment, chat, share, like, and react in any way you can to this stream. We love putting this events for you and sharing all the updates that we have. We are actively growing our YouTube channel right now, so every subscribe and every little like helps. As you know, a lot of you guys are creators and YouTubers yourselves, so we really appreciate your support on this one. And this is a live Q&A. So while we do have some material that we want to show you, some updates that we made, some interesting things that we built, we want to primarily make this about you. So please let us know in the chat where in the world you're watching from, if you're already using Restream and how, what kind of live content do you stream? Have you ever used Restream Clips? That would be really interesting for us, right, Romario, to kind of like get the sense of the audience, like how many of you guys are already familiar with the feature, maybe actively using it, maybe you have some feedback, some feature requests, some comments. And of course, if you have never used it, also let us know. Let us know what's stopping you. That would be interesting. Are you just kind of like tapping into the vertical content? Or do you have any questions of whether this is right or not right for your type of content, which is hard to imagine an example where this would not be helpful. But yeah, let us know where you are at with vertical content in general. Are you taking advantage of shorts and TikToks and vertical feeds, and as well as just posting short form content on major platforms? Because right now, we're actually posting it even on LinkedIn and X. It's not necessarily just shorts, TikToks, and Instagram, right? Like the traditional mobile first. A lot of platforms are moving in the direction of vertical because, let's face it, 70% of our viewers and your viewers too are watching on mobile devices. So we do believe that that's the future of content. That's why we're bringing this builds for you. So let us know in the chat what's going on, and maybe let's see what's going on there. Let's acknowledge a few comments. I see some really fun ones, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab them for our producer so she doesn't have to worry about if she has to show them. I'll just highlight them as I see them. Hello from Chicago. I use Restream for church services. This is beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Memphis, Tennessee. I use Restream. Let us know if you also use clips, because this is the conversation about shorts, viral clips, TikToks, and just vertical content in general, the short form primarily. So let us know if you're already using that. Canada here using Restream. This is beautiful. Yeah, let us know if you're using clips, again, because we would love to know if you're just using Restream for streaming or if you're already familiar with our short form stuff. Grant, our moderator today, is checking in from Portland, Oregon. This is awesome. Hi, Grant. Hi, watching from Nigeria. I love the geography that we have. And this is really, yeah, this is so cool. Okay, from Coos Bay, Oregon. Danger Zone, our loyal fan. That's awesome. Hello. Good to see you. And what else? Let's see if we missed anybody. Okay, some questions. Hello, my fin-loving friends. So, Fish Fam link. They always check in and always call us fin-loving friends. I do love fins. I love dolphins. I love whales and just in general marine life. This is so cool. Watching from foggy San Francisco. Anya, hope you are well. Sounds like you need some honey tea. Yeah, I lost my voice, and not because I was yelling at people, even though some dirty rumors of that kind have been circulating, both in the Restream company and in my own family. But that is not how I lost my voice. I'm pretty sure my 3-year-old brought some wonderful new biological weapon that they develop in daycares in the United States. So, and that got me. There are no other symptoms other than hoarse voice. So, oh well, that's what happened. But thanks for checking in. I love it. I'm not in pain, I promise. And I went with it because I was like,
just a husky voice.
Just a husky voice. Yeah, but we're like, hey, you know what? Maybe that's going to give it a little kink of fun. Hey gang, says Chris. Hi Chris, love seeing your show, love seeing you here. I love the stream. Hit the like, and happy Wednesday from Kings Queens Entertainment. Exciting news. Yes, we do have a lot of exciting news here. Hello from Portugal, from Philippe, our wonderful developer is also here. So I do see that there was some question, ask you a question. We might have missed something, but our producer Becca might be adding some things for us. I do want to highlight this comment real quick because it is related to the topic. I'm glad that Restream is now making the short clips for me to post. My stuff is short and I don't have to spend all day editing. This actually sums it up so well, right, Romario? Like, this is pretty much exactly why Restream Clips are so helpful, so delightful, and we are such big fans of this feature or this product. Because it does save a lot of time and empowers smaller creators who don't necessarily have an army of designers and editors to help them out. And this feels so good to read this. So this is really cool. I guess we're just going to go ahead and introduce what Restream Clips are for those who are new to Restream Clips. And essentially, this is our offering. Romario, you want to take it over from here?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that comment was an absolute perfect segue into what is Restream Clips. And I think overall, in short, it is turning your long videos into your shortest kind of moments out of a live stream, out of something maybe you've created outside of Restream. What we're really trying to do here is to help you find the best moments in your long videos that potentially you don't have time to go through yourself, or you don't have a team to go through this, and to find those moments, kind of auto reframe them, add the captions, while still giving you the ability to kind of add your own finesse and kind of do the last touch editing. I like to think of Restream Clips as kind of your 0 to 1, getting you kind of that first step, the most painful step of post-production, and you really take it from that 1 to 100, where you can, tweak certain things or add some music, remove certain parts of the content. It's really about giving you that little bump in productivity without kind of taking away the authenticity that are coming from your live streams.
Love it. Yeah, that is exactly true. And with Restream, it is so seamless because it is fully automated. There are a lot of ways how you could go about editing your clips, of course, and you can spend a lot of time perfecting them and reframing them and translating captions. There's so many different features in our editor, which we will not be diving into today, because editing and adjusting and customizing your clips is going to be a whole different conversation, which I'm very hopeful Romario will join me for whenever we're ready for that one. But today we just basically want to talk to you about the most kind of top of the funnel, like ground level, basic thing that you can do if you are already using Restream and going live on a regular basis, how you can really streamline the process of post-production and repurposing of the great content that you deliver for your viewers into short form that is extremely liked by social platform algorithms and also liked by people, because with short attention span, it's a lot easier to invite people to get to know you, to get to know what you're doing, maybe to learn something about your product and what you're building by giving them a 30, maybe 60-second snippet of something that you feel important. I do have a few questions that we're going to answer in just a second. But before we get there, just a few things that I wanted to point out. There's definitely a big thing that we like to remind people about, is that we allow you to multipost your clips on multiple platforms at the same time. So if you think about Restream as kind of like essentially a multi-casting, multi-platform, multi-publishing tool, right? So you can send one video to all kinds of destinations with just one stream, all kinds of platforms. Restream Clips work in a similar way, right? Like you can also multi-post them on all different social platforms that you already use, and a lot of times you already have connected to Restream, which allows you to save a ton of time and get this instant reach with this, different vertical and short form content, which is really cool. So for those people who haven't seen the multi-posting feature yet, this is a quick reminder that you can do that. And of course, there are a few other updates that we're going to show in just a minute. I did want to share a few examples of how we at Restream use clipping. And I'm going to go ahead and just real quick share my screen here. I'm going to create a new scene for this, because why not? Oh no, sorry guys. This is not what I wanted for us to happen. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to go to our own Restream X channel, and we might see ourselves live there in just a second. Sorry for this. All right, here we go. Let me know if you can, and I should be able to. Yeah, here we go. Our own Restream channel. We do need developers, as the title slide says. This is us here. So you can see that a lot of times we have our promotional events, right? But then sometimes, actually it's probably even more prominent on LinkedIn, we do show a little snippet of a previous event or a short clip that we did recently. Let me just switch this screen share to this guy. This is our LinkedIn page, right? And that's again us right here. And so this was one of the pre-promotions that we did for this specific event. This one was not actually a Restream clip. Charles actually made it for us specifically. But this was a cool little short 30-second vertical demo of like, hey, this is what clips are. This is what we're going to be talking about. And this is a great way to use Restream clips when you are doing regular show. You can actually capture certain moments from your previous events. And I'll show you a few more examples of just that. LinkedIn is loading. So this is another one. So this is basically something that we talked about when we launched our chat overlay, right? Like that little transparent chat that you can now display on your screen to encourage your viewers to chat more. And we were able to use this as kind of like a pre-promotion of like, hey, this is the type of insights that you'll be seeing and hearing during our live shows. So join us for the next event. And very often we would link like an actual stream under it. So they get quite a bit of impressions. They're much more reshareable because they're short and easy. It's more likely that people will share and repost a short clip than a whole live stream, right? So we've been having a lot of success with that. And on top of that, every single stream that we do, we also always repurpose. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share the view of our YouTube channel. Okay, stop sharing. I'm gonna share again. YouTube. Here we go. Hi, Romario.
Hi again.
You're back. Yeah, so this, I came here for a different reason. I wanted to show you something else, but this is actually a really cool way to show us how we are having two streams happening at the same time. You see this going on, right? One is horizontal and the other one is vertical. So this is because we're using Restream dual output feature on the same YouTube channel. And this is how it's gonna look if you're using it as well. So basically people can choose which version they can join, and you're basically having these two parallel streams at the same time, and they're collecting different types of viewers. So I just thought it was really cool. But the reason why I got here is to basically show you that every single live stream that we do ends up chopped up into this many little shorts. So you can see that pretty much everything you see here, all this content is the clips made with Restream clips from our live demos and Q&As. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, it's not bad, like it's, thousands of views that we're getting. Here's 2,000 for Charles with his monetization hack. We're like average 900 to 1,000. Sometimes it's 800, 900. So it's pretty decent numbers, which would not be achievable unless we used short form and unless we were clipping. So I think those would be just some examples of how Restream clips could be used for you every day, no matter what type of content you're streaming. Very simple. Number one is use them as pre-promotion, little teaser of what's coming. Number two is repurpose the content into little snippets and kind of populate your shorts tab on YouTube and on other channels. And there's a third one is sometimes when we have a really cool and insightful clip, we run it as ads. So we basically boost it and put some budget behind it. If your company or your brand can do that, that's also a really good way because that creates like those really authentic UGC style ads that are extremely popular and very effective these days. So that's my third tip for you from the marketer perspective. But yeah, I don't know, Romario, if you have any other thoughts on this, of how you see people using clips, because I know you're reviewing a lot of exact customer examples. Any other cool tips?
Yeah, I think what I've seen is that short clips are intended to have some level of like punch to them. So if you want to really hit it with your audience, your first few seconds are the most important. Our goal is obviously with clips to get those first few seconds as kind of the hook. So I highly recommend you try and focus on getting those hooks. And we also see that having some music and kind of layering your experience really helps. So from kind of just a social perspective, we're seeing all platforms go vertical. So definitely invest more in that. Think about when you live streaming as well, does this actual, background work for kind of more portrait style content, not just landscape anymore. But yeah, I think those are the things to think about, is kind of the full experience. It's not just about slapping this on a video and posting it, but thinking about what kind of experience you give people in those few seconds you have with them.
I almost feel bad that I don't know that, but is there a way to add music in Restream Clips editor? Like, is there an easy way to do it, or do you have to use something else to add like some kind of tune?
You should be able to add a soundtrack at the bottom. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, because we've been using those clips without music, because a lot of times our clips are very focused on what we're saying. And then I got some feedback from Matt, actually our other product lead, and he was like, maybe it will be better if we have music, because then we won't sound so like intense. And I'm like, yeah, I love it. That's a good feedback. So we'll definitely be
it really depends on, it depends on the type of, kind of content creator you are. Obviously, if you're kind of having quite a very serious conversation, and if it's finance, kind of playing R&B in the background probably is not going to work well for you. But there are definitely ways for you to kind of introduce some kind of sound into your experience.
Yeah, I love it. Another thing that you kind of reminded me of as you were mentioning about how you clip it and like the hook and like how snappy and punchy the clips need to be in order to be successful. I love how I recently read that it's more kind of like a gaming thing, but I think it's super applicable to businesses and marketing and podcasts, or any industry really, is that how a lot of gamers are actually framing the clips. So as they live stream, they already think about the clips that this could make. So when you have some moments, and a lot of them are actually staging crazy reactions or unexpected guests or things that, would actually make a good clip. So it's definitely something that we recommend. You can start with something more simple. Whenever you create your content, just think about, would that be a good clip? Like, how would the vertical cut of that even look, right? Like, obviously now with Restream Dual Output, we actually give you 2 versions already. So it's a lot easier for you to kind of envision 2 speakers side by side and on top of each other. Whenever you're sharing media, also same thing, right? Like, try not to share something that's going to be very tiny on your vertical screen if you end up clipping that moment. And of course, the bigger the speakers are, the better the resolution of your clip is going to be. But those are more like technical basic things. In terms of content, I do think that it is a really good idea to have some kind of a hook or a few punchlines that you could also eventually turn into a clip. So as you're planning your show, I think this is a good idea to think about what could make this like really cool moment that will then be a no-brainer to clip and share. So I like that a lot.
I think, and if you think about our product, we, when we're looking for these moments, we are looking at a transcript. And so your speech is really important. What you're talking about is going to kind of determine what we find that we believe is probably the most engaging content. So, it's as simple as saying, this might be a controversial question, and we immediately would pick that up. I think it's a great way to kind of signal as well.
Yeah, 100%. And not that we're going to necessarily frame clips, but I do want to have a little bit of an AI discussion here and a conversation about what you guys as creators think about AI in general. And I already see a few questions in the chat that kind of like hint on algorithms and AI in general, the role of it in this process. So if you have any controversial opinions about AI in video, in live streaming, or maybe something specific about how AI helping edit clips could be a good thing or a bad thing, bring them on, because as we all determined, these moments are going to make really good clips. So let's make that happen. Before we jump into some updates to Restream Clips, some of the new things that we recently shipped, I want to take a few questions that we already have starred in our chat. And please continue bringing them on because we love your questions. And this is a live Q&A. So anything you want to know about Restream Clips, or Romario, because he's new, put it in the chat. We would love to cover that. All right, so here's one question. So are all captured by a dev or AI algorithm? I'm assuming this is a question of the clips are done manually or through AI, because the answer is it's not a dev, right?
It's not a dev. It is not a dev. Yes, it is AI, but we are not training AI. It is essentially reading a transcript, understanding the context, understanding facial recognition, and capturing those moments and reframing them and kind of removing things out of it and cutting it down to as short as possible. So no, it is not someone manually sitting behind there and chopping your content for you. It is definitely leaning on AI. But as we said, like there's no training involved here. Our goal is to kind of make this as scalable as possible to give you the content as quickly as possible and as cheap as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are more questions here. And I think I love the contest. So it's like Suited Soldier is saying that I'm asking all these questions because I'm looking to switch to Restream Clips, possibly from other competitors. So there's a question about virality score. I guess viral is 70%. State to watch, and currently AI is falling short. So I think it would be good to kind of break down a little bit how the virality scores work in general in Restream Clips. What do they mean? Obviously, we cannot tell every little detail about how the sausages are made, right? Like there's a little bit of a secret sauce there. But in general, just for people to understand what's the virality score, what are we looking at, and how can they use it to determine the best outcomes from the clips that folks are posting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first thing to look at is think of virality score more in the context of a specific project, right? Don't think of it as across everything out there on the internet, you're 90% likely or 90% probability that you're going to be viral. It's more looking at the entire list of all the clips that you have within that project and taking into account the subject matter. So again, facial recognition, the transcript, thinking about whether or not there is certain framings and showing more facial reactions. And then we basically rank it based on that. So it's not about whether you'll go viral on a grand scale, but more thinking about this content right now for a very specific audience. Would this engage with them or would this not engage with them? So I'd say look at it more in the context of within the stream, you have 5 clips and 2 of them are maybe above 90. Those are probably going to do really well with your existing audiences, and hopefully you'll introduce more people into bring more people into your audience and bring them into your live streams down the line.
Yeah, I love it. And I would add that in general, it works very similar to if you had a transcript of your whole show and let's say you used one of the AI models, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever your choice is, and you gave this whole transcript to it and said, hey, what would be the most impactful message or the most exciting statement, something that would resonate really well with my type of audience, and you might be able to specify this audience if you're using some of those platforms. What is the best snippet from it, right? And then usually the AI would respond to you based on just giant amount of data that they have seen before, and they know that, okay, if you mention something like this, if you use this kind of language, if you phrase a certain thing or outline certain benefit when you're talking about your product, that is going to really resonate with the audience based on the experience of hundreds and thousands of examples of similar messaging that they have seen before, right? So that's kind of the logic here, except for you don't have to do it, right? We already do it on the back end for you, and we basically say, okay, so out of this specific stream, those are the most clear, the most exciting, the most engaging potential moments that you could use to re-engage your audience or to kind of like double down on specific points that you made during your longer form show. So that's kind of where it is. And there was a question about Opus Clips. I'm going to take it because I appreciate questions about competition when it is when they're like constructive, right? So what's the difference? There are a few different things that are like more feature specific. I believe we do have a special article that compares the two. Maybe Becca can help us out and drop that link in the chat on YouTube. So you can actually go, because there's some feature by feature comparison in terms of some certain limitations, certain platforms, like where you can multi-post and other things. But the biggest difference to me personally is that our pricing model is a lot more clear than Opus. At least the last time I saw, Opus is offering you different ways to purchase credits, which is a very common system for AI tokens and like just using AI tools. So if you are in AI world and if you're a developer, you're very familiar with this concept and it's probably kind of clear to you. But if you're everybody else, including me, a marketer, those tokens and credits don't always make a lot of sense. Like, what will 200 credits give me, right? Is it 2 hours of video? Is it 200 clips? Is it 2 million clips, like, or 2 million minutes? Like, what is that, right? With Restream, the system is a lot more clear. You have a subscription, you choose a plan that starts from $19 a month, and then you have a predetermined number of clips that you get from all the videos. And we will show you a few things, how you can customize and adjust those per project, per clip, per video in just a minute here. But generally speaking, you know exactly what you're paying for. Restream Clips are also an add-on to Restream ecosystem, right? So you can use Restream to create your videos, to post pre-record videos, to create videos in the studio, which is what we're using right now. And then without switching platforms, without downloading any transcripts and videos and uploading them into any other different tools, you immediately in the same place get the opportunity to create those shorts, which to the best of my knowledge, with Opus, you have to create your video somewhere else and then you have to upload it there. So it's basically like a 2-step process. And then you have to figure out what those credits mean. In our case, it's this much money for this many clips per month, and then every month it renews. So in my opinion, it's a lot more simple and it's a lot more clear, and it gives you a lot more flexibility. Do you want clips this month? Do you not want clips this month? So you basically choose them monthly, and you choose the volume based on how often you stream, how many clips you think you need, and basically you can adjust it at any moment. So those are the major differences. There's another major difference that is coming out soon, and we kind of agreed to tease it, but since there's this question here, I will also, I guess, reveal it a little bit if you don't mind, Mario. Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, Opus Clips does not give you, they can because they don't really have the video platform, right? So there's no such thing as live clipping on Opus, right? So you have to upload your video and then you have to basically ask it to create those clips for you. But with Restream, very soon, in a matter of weeks, you will be able to actually get live clipping. So while this event is happening, Restream will already create those little snippets for you so you can post them while the event is still happening. Huge value add for folks who are doing sports content, breaking news, anything that's like very timely, announcements. Think Apple event, when you're announcing new headphones, new phone, new AirPods, or anything else, you can immediately get those snippets while the event is still happening and basically funnel people back into your channel and into your main event. So that is something that you can, there are maybe a few other platforms that allow you to do that, like they're super enterprise level, but Restream is about to bring this as well. So those are the major differences that I wanted to point out. If we have any other creators who are actively using both or switched already, you might know a little bit more about Opus. Of course, I know everything about Restream Clips, but not everything about Opus Clips. So if you have any other differences in mind, drop them in the chat. And thank you for the question. It's, good stuff. There's another one here. It's more about editing, but I think it's a good question. Can you change the hook title, colors, and text? So yeah, you can change your title. When you're editing clips, you can put anything you want in the caption. Is that right?
Yeah, I think captions, absolutely. Hook title and text, I believe we're going to be bringing kind of a revision of the editor, and this will allow you to actually upload kind of custom hooks as well. So we're going to take it a step further than just colors and text. But yes, this is absolutely where we want to get to.
Absolutely. Love it. Chris from LinkedIn is saying, everyone knows that finance podcasts go best with soulful R&B. That is coming back to our music conversation. So
I would watch that.
R&B and finance go together well. I love that. There are a few questions and comments about AI in general. Again, let's keep it spicy. Let's keep it fun. As a professional creator, AI is terrifying, but it's here. So I'm leaning into it for workflow tools. So I love this comment because this is exactly how we think about AI at Restream. We are creators and we are a tool for creators. So we do not see the world in the future where creators get replaced by robots or any kind of technology, but we see them as tools that allow creators to free their time to focus on things that are them, that are authentic and that makes them creative, instead of spending a lot of time on like very tedious and kind of like mundane tasks, such as looking at the line, basically at your timeline of your video, figuring out the moments, making sure you cut exactly, transcribing. Maybe you remember the days before computers, you had to like actually listen to the whole video and then like type up the transcriptions, right? Like that's how people used to do, basically speech to text in, older days. And I just don't believe that that's the best use of creators' time. It would be much better if things like that could be delegated to AI, and things like what would be the most interesting thing to talk about, what can I do to connect with my audience in new and genuine way, would remain something that creators still control. But what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's absolutely true, not just for creatives, but even other jobs. Obviously, as a product manager, there is a level of creativity involved. But if you put that to a side for a second, kind of the things that would take a lot of my time, I can now use AI to support me in doing those, and it actually has freed up my time to do the things I love doing. So I am spending more time kind of sketching, thinking about what's next for us, versus kind of just focusing on what I can do right now because I have such limited capacity. So I like to think of it again as something that kind of gets rid of that 0 to 1 and gets you kind of across the line, so you can actually focus on like the more fun and the more important stuff. I think it's terrifying for everyone, but at the same time, there's a level of excitement around it because it is really an unlock. I think maybe that's a lot of the fear there, is that it is so good at just doing these tasks that would have taken us a lot of time before. And now we have more time to do the things that we truly love. And I've just experienced it this weekend building. I had an idea on Friday evening for a mobile app, and on Saturday morning, I tried out a product just to see if I could get it into certain level of a prototype. And I managed to do this in about 35 minutes while in between getting ready to leave the house. And it really blew my mind. That would have taken a few months ago weeks to do. It's terrifying, but at the same time, it's super exciting, and it's an unlock. I like to think of it as an unlock.
Yeah, it's liberating. Even recently, I've been playing with, obviously, the infamous Clawbot or OpenClaw, however you want to call it now, and not necessarily like delegating my whole life to it just yet, but just kind of like seeing its capabilities and the things that it can do. It blows your mind because it is scary, it is terrifying. That like how does it know? How did it figure it out? How did it think about it, right? Because a lot of times in workflows, the biggest challenge is not how to execute something, but to understand where to even look, right? Like how to know what you don't know, how to account for things that might affect the outcome in the future. And AI is really good at that, and it is scary. But at the same time, it is liberating because, well, to me, I already made peace with the fact that there will be probably no world without AI in at least my lifetime. It is going to be present in one shape or form. And you might as well join them if you cannot beat them, because I don't see a way to beat them at this point. It's really interesting. There are a lot of really good questions here, so I'm going to keep going before we get back to our program and update you on a few different things. Will AI ever target laughing or higher chat engagement in its clip targeting rather than just dialogue and transcript? I love that. So this is like a very specific thing, like a chat spike, which we see on Restream side of things, right? And that would be another big differentiator compared to tools that do not have the live video generation and creation process as part of the package. Of course, laughing, not necessarily textual, but kind of contextual. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I don't think laughing is the way that we'd actually find that content as momentous. I think that's definitely something that likely will happen with time. I think we'll probably go beyond just looking at words and transcripts, but actually taking kind of sounds more into account. I think that's happening already, obviously, with facial recognition. So yeah, I think this definitely feels like something that will happen with time. But as of right now, like, it all comes down to the word. So maybe just say "I am now laughing" could help.
I was going to ask you, actually, when we create a transcript, which is now also something that we do automatically for each stream, each video, you can actually just get a transcript if you just want it for your blog post or some kind of textual content, maybe it's for social media. So if you're laughing, does it just like say nothing in the transcript, or does it say ah ha ha, or I don't know, Spanish haha with J? Like, does it put anything in there?
I need to look.
This is a mystery.
This is a really interesting use case, and I think it's something to look at. I haven't thought about like laughing, crying, any other kind of emotive sounds. We'll be interested to see how that comes up in transcripts.
Sneezing and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely. If you use Restream transcripts and you know what happens when you laugh, if you see some ha-ha-has, like, let us know in the chat, because it's kind of also embarrassing that I don't know. But this is the type of thing that I'm kind of curious about now, inspired by your questions. All right, Technical Media from YouTube is asking, are there any settings that can be applied prior to creation of clips? An example, text type, color, and position. So can you preset certain things? I believe you can. There are certain media templates or like brand templates that you can set up for captions. Is there anything else that you can preset other than captions text?
Yeah, so what we're looking at here is kind of style presets, which you have in the clip settings. This will be applied to anything that is kind of generated on autopilot. So for those that don't know, we have a feature called autopilot, which is the minute a live stream ends, we immediately start generating those clips for you. The alternative is, obviously, if that is turned off, you would need to manually select a live stream recording, and then it will generate like that. So those settings live within kind of Clips core settings. Within that, you have the ability to toggle on and off emojis. You can toggle on and off reframing. So there is a level of personalization that you can take here. Beyond that, you can also create your own style preset. So if you go into the editor and you decide you don't like any of the kind of default presets that we offer you, you can kind of customize one, save it, and you can then actually go into your clip settings and select style preset. And as you can see there, Anya's got into AI clips lowered down as her preset. So you can really kind of customize it as you want for yourself, and kind of set it up here so that once you have autopilot engaged, it will always use that new style.
I definitely highly recommend autopilot, because it is really cool to finish your stream and just immediately, what a lot of my editing team does is they immediately just jump in and they look at what was created. And sometimes they would reframe and edit some of those things. Sometimes they would trim them a little bit, but that's a great starting point. Like, think of it as writer's block, but editor's block, right? When you are not intimidated by the idea that you have to review this whole an hour and a half of Anya and Romario going all over the map, from threads of AI to specific settings in AI clips on Restream, and then they can already get the snippets where they can kind of like get started. It's like, okay, so this was a cool moment, this was a cool moment. They might not be final. Some of them are great to just go and publish right away, but that's a good way to kind of like get started. And the fact that it's already done by the time you're done with your stream, I think is a good kind of like velocity momentum type opportunity for sure. Great stuff. A few more questions, because again, this is Q&A, and I definitely want to focus on what you guys are asking. It's a nice feature. Will it recommend titles and hashtags? Yes, for titles, but I think no for hashtags. Oh, yes.
Yes, for hashtags. I think at the moment we land about 2 in there. They aren't necessarily trending hashtags on certain platforms. These are just hashtags based on the content of the video. This is definitely something we could look at down the line, to actually pull in those trending hashtags to help you actually get seen more on those end platforms. But yeah, we definitely recommend titles for the videos that actually show there as you look on the project page. And then we actually generate captions for you, and they usually include 1 to 2 hashtags.
Yes, absolutely. Good stuff. Question from LinkedIn from Vishna, long-term friend of Restream. Are you planning to enable editing custom texts other than just the title? So what if you just want to say something like finance plus R&B equals love, which is not something you're saying in the stream? Is that something that
we're not getting past this one, are we?
We're never getting past this one. This is going to resurface over and over in every Restream clip conversation, thanks to our comment. So yeah, do we have an ability to kind of like create a little custom text that kind of like lingers on top of the clip that is not part of the caption?
Yeah, you can at the moment add a logo or an image. So in this case, you could actually drop some image of text on it. Over time, we'll probably change this, and potentially we will be able to add additional kind of layers onto your project, and that will include kind of text beyond captions. I think that's definitely the goal. You know, as you said, we want to bring custom hooks in as well, where you can import that. So yeah, I think this is something we'll definitely get to. But yeah, I say like add it to ideas.restream.io. We're always looking for everyone to share their ideas, kind of what are your workflows that you're struggling with, and potentially want to make easier for yourself. We're there to kind of support you there. So please, the more the merrier. It helps us kind of prioritize them.
I really like this one. First, the name, Dumb Industries. I love that. I would love for you to let us know which industry you're in, because this is great. I love good irony. Love clips, but adjusting the framing can be tricky because it splits clips into so many sections. It would be great if there was a way to save custom layout and basically apply to those sections. So I think this is a conversation about how when you're trying to change framing, you basically have to like split clips for every new layout. So if you want to have 2 people on top of each other, or if you want to have one person in a little circle and one in the background, like it's basically like a bunch of little splits. And it's basically, I think the idea is to have like a little macros of like, okay, for all this, just apply that. I can totally see how that would be helpful. What do you think? Is that something that we're looking into?
That is my dream. I think at the moment it is a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah.
And it can be realized. I think at the moment, obviously the only major preset you have is kind of switching certain things on and off, and you can apply some level of personalization on the caption styling. In the ideal world, yes, we would also take layouts into account as part of that entire preset. So that is the goal. Like eventually you can build out these presets that look beyond just kind of the surface level text caption. Potentially it's like the speed of how we reframe. So yeah, again, we'd love for these ideas to be shared with us. They already are in my head, but the more people that vote for these, the faster we can get this to you.
Awesome. Love it. And there are a few comments about we need more tutorials on Restream. We do have quite a bit on our YouTube channel, so definitely check it out. We also will be doing a whole lot of new tutorial series on Restream Clips editing. We're just finalizing a few things in terms of how the UI is going to look, so we can actually give you the most recent version of Restream Clips Editor, and then we will shower you with guides and video walkthroughs on that one. There is a question about pricing. I see you. We will definitely get to that in the end. I'm going to show you the whole pricing page and how the add-on works, so hang on tight for that. And now we are just going to go ahead and share a few updates that are new for those who already used Restream Clips before. This is just something that we did recently. And we'll start with the new Clips page. So if you checked out Restream Clips some weeks ago, it looked quite different. Now the Clips page is a lot more intuitive and convenient. And here is a little demo of what we updated. All right. Something stopped us. Let me actually turn off the music here so we can kind of have it on the loop. But you can see there are a few things that changed with the look of this page. And Romario, feel free to walk us through this. I do definitely see a lot of really, really cool updates. And feel free to pause the video if you want to just focus on a specific element of UI. Of course, the project, I will actually start with this one because I really like it.
Yeah.
Well, the project, how they are grouped now and how like vividly they move, like little fans, like little cards when you move around them is definitely very delightful. So it used to be just like a long list, basically like a never-ending doom scroll of your clips, and now they're nicely tucked into specific projects which are related to videos or streams that they are from. And then you can see little previews of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the goal here was to give you a very, very high level glance at what is going to be in that project. Obviously, if you are creating lots of content and live streaming a lot, you might not have the time to go through every single project, or potentially you're only going to grab the first clip within each project. This is the way to very quickly get a quick snapshot of what's inside.
Yeah. And then there is, of course, let me get us to this, the little transcript, which you can immediately preview. This is super helpful because sometimes you or your editor doesn't necessarily want to play and listen to the whole clip, right? Sometimes you just want to see which part, which snippet, which kind of message did it pick. And this really speeds up the process for me personally, because a lot of times I don't want to like sit and listen. I'm much more a visual person. And for me, it's easier to scan text than to listen to what Charles and I are saying in this specific instance. So seeing this transcript with like a little time frame is super helpful. And it also helps me to understand, like if I know, because I was part of the stream and I remember that just a few seconds earlier or a few seconds later, I said something even more epic, it really lets me immediately jump into editing and just then trim and adjust to capture that moment. So I really like that that part. Is there anything else that transcript is doing that's exciting? I see you can download it too, right? Like you can actually use it as a text.
Personally, if you don't like your voice, this is the best way for you to look at your content in a very, very snapshot way without getting into listening to it. That's my personal use case for transcripts. But it's absolutely a quick way for you to, I would kind of look at the first timestamp and then scroll to the bottom, and you get a very quick guide into a gist of what everything is inside this video.
Yeah. Well, and then of course there is a little bit of showcase of the virality score, which is excellent. We talked about this earlier a little bit, but it kind of gives you an idea. And what I really like here as well is that it explains you why this virality score was assigned. So it gives you a little bit of like why this works type context, which you might agree or not agree with, but it just gives you a little bit of an idea of like how, like what was the thought process, or I guess AI process behind this. And I'm going to say that before I lost that train of thought. I can't believe you don't like the sound of your voice because you sound epic. So,
well, this is a new mic. So let me see after this stream, maybe I'll have a different opinion.
Maybe you'll become a fan of your voice. I love it. And then there is, of course, multi-posting. And there is a few questions about scheduling this, which we will take in just a second. But yes, you can. And that actually shows you, let me actually maximize it real quick so people can see it. It does already give you a little description, right? So it does suggest you the titles that you could use for those shorts. That was a question earlier today, and I think it really helps to kind of understand that this is what's happening. So it's pretty exciting. The question that is related to this, and I think it's very timely to just go ahead and take it. Can you schedule those posts on TikTok through Restream? So when you selected those clips, can you say, I love this, I want this, I'm going to publish this, but not now?
Yeah. Scheduling is something that we want to bring across all of those platforms. This is something that is in the works. I think we can see the value in it, especially if you don't want to sit there or remind yourself in a few hours or days to come and post that again. So yes, for TikTok, but also all the other platforms we currently support, this is definitely something we want to do.
It's coming soon. Yeah, this is definitely like I hear exactly where you guys are coming from, because I also monitor very carefully in terms of timing, right? Like when is the best time to post certain things on certain platforms? And believe it or not, for different platforms, it can be different times, right? So for YouTube, for example, we tend to do really well in the afternoon US time zone. But for LinkedIn, since it's more professional network and we have a lot of audience in Europe, anything that posts after noon, Eastern time or Central time doesn't really perform that well, because a lot of people already checked out from their professional network. So it's really good to kind of like be in tune with those things. And it's great that you guys are thinking about this. So scheduling is coming to support you in that way. Great question. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Select for clipping. So this is a brand new feature, and I'm just going to go ahead and show a little demo clip for this, and we're going to loop it so we can kind of like keep looking at this happening, and we can definitely dissect it a little bit. But for the longest time, we had requests of like, hey, we appreciate that AI is picking the moments. It's really helpful for a lot of creators, especially who don't have necessarily a lot of support on editing side of things. It's great. But what if we actually do want to have more control, right? What if we do want to say, hey, I don't care about the first 15 minutes of the stream. We were like doing something else. The gold is in the middle or in the very end, or maybe the opposite way, right? Like, so you can actually select the time frame when, where you want AI to focus on to find those little moments and snippets that you believe already will be the best. So now you can. And this is a little demonstration of how that would work. So Romario, feel free to walk us through this. It's a very short clip, but it kind of shows you what you can do with timelines of your whole video and the selection.
Absolutely. So this obviously is taking into account that you are creating the project manually from new project here. The goal is, again, as Anya said, is you likely know your best moments, or you know more or less where they are. So we, giving you more tools and more control to actually kind of select that range. And beyond that, we obviously import your kind of default style and whether or not you have captions toggled on and off. But the great thing about this is that you can override it when you're creating a new project now. So this is super helpful if maybe you want to test out a new style, but maybe you didn't change it already within settings for autopilot. This gives you the ability and the control to actually, have a go at trying out something new, maybe having less clips, maybe having shorter clips. The goal is really to give you more and more control over those manual projects. So I'd say really give a go with this. I think we already are using it ourselves, and it's been really great at kind of cutting out maybe the countdown, which is not really useful for clips. Highly recommend having a go at this.
Yeah, I love it. We are actually going to use it for the first time because this is the first live stream that we did since this feature dropped, and I'm very excited to see how. There are definitely certain moments that I have in mind from this event, from this conversation, that I definitely want to come back and just kind of like pre-select and see.
R&B, I assume.
Yeah, finance, R&B, definitely there. Just in general, the AI terrors and like being scared of it, and a few others. So yeah, give it a go. It's already live for everybody who is using Restream Clips. And if you have any feedback or any ideas on how we can improve that, you can always reach out to us. Support is one great way. Ideas at Restream is another great way. I'm just going to show this link one more time. Ideas@restream.io is where you can always find us. And I check that page every day. I'm sure our product leads are doing the same. And this is a great way to upvote ideas that you see that are very relevant to what you need to happen. And of course, you can submit your own. We have different categories there. AI Clips is one of them. So of course, you can submit anything for Restream Studio or Restream in general, but you can also get specific with clips. Love it. All right. We also had another update about not selection, but the project, the thing that we recently released, but we don't have a visual for it, I guess, right? Like we have some project. Let me get to the controls. Yeah,
the controls at the bottom there kind of give you some flavor there in terms of, again, you can actually go and select certain things for this video. Again, maybe you want to test out just going horizontal for some reason. Maybe it's a meeting that you want to split into a bunch of clips that maybe vertical doesn't make sense for. The goal here, again, is giving you just more control on a kind of project by project basis.
That's lovely. So that's mostly for videos that you already had, right? Like it's not something that you can do in real time just yet, but that's something that you can do with the video that has already been recorded. If you're either creating manual project or going to recordings and basically start a project from there. Yeah, right? Cool. Awesome. And there is one more mighty update regarding Restream Clips API. So this is also something that we played with this week. And it's an interesting way to come back to the conversation about AI and workflows and kind of like the modern day of working and how some teams can now implement AI clips into even more complex systems of how they manage their content. So what is Restream Clips API that Restream is offering?
Yeah, so all in all, like obviously Restream has had a kind of public API for a few years, and we are doubling down and investing in that again. And one of the places we are doing that is with clips. What this allows you to do in like a non-technical terminology is that we essentially allow our program, our technology to talk with another program and its technology. So think of it as we are building the bridge for another product's bridge, and now those two can interact. So the things that we've started with right now is the ability to expose your projects, expose your clips, and the ability to download clips. Something that we're working on is also bringing posting into that workflow. So if you're someone that's maybe already using N8N or Zapier or Make.com, or potentially you have your own custom workflows, if you do have some technical skills, this will essentially give you the ability to add clips into the Clips API into your own workflow. We're seeing it more and more that people are obviously building out their new workflows with AI and kind of rethinking productivity. And this is kind of the toolkit to enable you to maybe go and publish in a different way, maybe put it into a CMS, maybe publish it on your website. There's the power is actually in your hands, and we're just giving you essentially the tools in a tightly packed box.
Love it. Awesome. I do have oops, sorry. I thought about adding a QR code for this, but then I realized it's probably better to just send a link to Clips API in our chat. So if our mods can help us out, and this has been published in our changelog. So if you can share the link to Clips API documentation in our chats, that would be awesome. And we can also, I do believe that link is a little bit cumbersome, so we're just going to drop it in the chat. But you can also always find it in our changelog, so Restream's changelog, and it's going to be one of the updates there with the link on how to update those documents. If you get lost, you can always reach out to our 24/7 human customer support, and those folks are superheroes. They're there all the time, real humans, and they will give you all the links that you need, and also help you with setup or any other questions that you might have. So check them out, take advantage of this really, really cool support that we have. We're super proud of it. We are going to transition into our final Q&A part of the show. So we encourage you to ask your final questions. There are a few that we still have in our that we will be answering. But if you have any more, now is the time. We are probably going to run for another 15 minutes or so. So this is the last chance to ask questions about Restream Clips directly from Romario, who is our product lead on Restream Clips product. And he is in charge of the roadmap for Restream Clips. He is building a lot of things, and he's listening to your feedback and feature requests. So take your chance right now and share what you would like to see. So there's this comment about Restream Clips not being ideal for gaming. That is true because, like we mentioned earlier, Restream Clips rely heavily on the transcript and the text. How can you make Restream Clips better for gaming is to get more vocal. If you are narrating and talking more and kind of highlighting the moments that are happening in the game and saying things to your community that will help us to then identify through the transcript that this is a cool moment, that will be the best way to make those clips working for gaming. But of course, they work a lot better for podcasting, for kind of like language-heavy content than for example, musical streams. If your whole stream is just a song, then, or a series of songs, right? A concert, it will try to pick up the things that it thinks are the most powerful parts of your lyrics, but might not necessarily be the best part of the song, right? It's not always matching. So it is heavily relying on language. That's something to keep in mind. But the hack that I would have for this is make sure you get vocal, make sure you talk a lot, because the worst gaming clips that we see, and that's what probably you might have seen in those reviews and reports, is when folks are playing, they're gaming, it's exciting content, but they're not saying anything. They're not talking to your audience at all. Those clips will probably fall a little flat because there's not a lot of us to work with. And of course, Restream AI cannot know every single game and the uniqueness of each moment in all of those different variations of games. So you telling us what's going on will help us to get better clips. So I hope that makes sense. And Romario, feel free to correct me if I'm misinterpreting that.
I absolutely agree with you. No, absolutely agree with you. I think this is where we are right now. You need to unfortunately be more vocal in order for us to actually pick up that this is kind of like good content. And it's not to say your content isn't good. It's just that right now it relies on transcript and voice.
Absolutely. In terms of editing a clip and trimming, so there is a way to basically extend the clip to after, but Danger Zone is struggling to find the way to do like a little bit before. So if you go to your clip editor and go to the trim section, basically you should see a full transcript of your clip, right? And basically selecting the text either before or after is going to do the same thing. So you can extend it both ways, to the best of my knowledge. I think that's how it works. Last time I played with this, that's how it worked. So you just need to go to the trim, and I know trim means cut, but sometimes it can also mean expand. If you are in that tab, just select the text that you feel like is representing what your highlight should be, and it can go both after what we automatically selected and before. So give it another look. And if it doesn't work the way you prefer, or if you're not seeing that, definitely reach out to our support, because we should be able to point you in the right direction. Because I definitely trimmed my clips to extend them versus cutting. That's definitely something that we have going on. There is very short and great content, X and TikTok. Yes, anytime. Whether it's live streaming or clips, anytime. Question about content creators for marketing. Yes, we are looking for content creators to do UGC type content that we could eventually run as ads. If that's what you want to do, please reach out to our support and they will direct you to my team, where we have people who are looking for that kind of creators. We are going to be assessing a few different opportunities there, of course, and a lot of things really depend, so we'll need to have a conversation, but definitely reach out if you are interested in creating short form UGC style content that talks about Restream. We are very interested in that. So great question. Another question, is your AI model using a third-party API like OpenAI Whispers to identify? I don't know if we can talk about this, because I'm definitely not technical expert to take this one, but let me know, Romario, if that's something that you know of. Do we use any of that?
We definitely rely on third parties for AI. This doesn't mean that we are training that data, or that data is being stored and being trained against. It is essentially a tool for us to actually go and scan those transcripts and find those moments. So yes, we do rely on third parties to do this.
Yeah, I also, while we are kind of like on, this is the second time the topic of AI training comes up, I definitely want to show real quick this little summary that I created of what AI clips are not, because there is a lot of kind of like fear and panic around AI, which is absolutely founded. There are a lot of crazy things that are happening. There are a lot of like different motivations that people who use AI tools and build AI tools that are driving those people, right? So it's perfectly normal to ask yourself, is this safe? Is this right for me? Is this right for my audience? So just to make it very, very clear, on Restream AI clips thing, we do not create any fake content. So this is not AI-generated AI slops. Anything you can see in AI clips and Restream are just the AI-powered editing of your video. So we do not add any effects, any characters, any voice, any AI models, any avatars. None of that is happening. It's just you. The only thing that AI does is editing. There's nothing that it generates. There's no generated stuff. There's no training. Whether you're using Restream Clips on our smallest tier or on our largest tier. So that's the reason why we charge for those clips. There's no such thing as free clips, but we'll train them on your content, right? We charge for those clips, but the models are already trained. So the plan that you're choosing is only going to determine how many videos we can process for you and how many clips we can serve you so you could post them to your audience. And there's nothing else that it determines. So no AI training for your content, nothing for you to worry about, and no using of your likeness. So if we are streaming right now, Restream Clips cannot take me and offer that to Romario on his next stream as a potential AI co-host, or I cannot also use Romario's likeness as much as I would like to in my future streams. So whatever you create stays yours, and none of your voice, video, content, studio, beautiful lighting, fun stuff that you say is ever going to be shared or transferred to other users. So it's completely yours, and you are in complete control of your image, of your brand, and of your likeness. So just to make sure that we are clear on that. And let me go back to our final Q&A session. There's another question from Buddha of Destiny. Namaste. Does Restream have co-host availability to stream from each content creator's channel? And I'm also wondering if you can upload videos and play. So if you're talking about Restream in general, then yes, you have an opportunity your co-hosts can add their own channel. This feature is called Restream Pairs. Also, your guests can add their own channels and rebroadcast your event and amplify it, which is really powerful. And that's a great way to double and triple your views depending on how big and popular your guest is. We do allow you to play videos in your streams like we played earlier. The demos that we did, you can upload any video to Restream storage and then play it from there. It works really well. You can even play a local video just from your machine if you don't want to upload it to Restream and you just want to do it kind of spontaneously. That works a little less great because it strains your computer and it is a little bit harder for it to power live stream and then also fetch stuff from your drive. So we recommend uploading, but you can totally do that. When it comes to Restream Clips, you can add videos into the clip if you want to have like a little B-roll. Am I right? You can add B-rolls to your clips in the middle of it. And you can also add... Right now. Well, you can add AI B-rolls to the best of my knowledge. You can basically say, hey, I want a video of, I don't know, a coffee being made, right? Like I want something that like illustrates the idea of a coffee bar. So you can type that and then you basically get a video, B-roll like that. I thought you could upload your own, but maybe it's in progress. Is this something that's planned?
Probably. I think we have B-roll manual upload coming soon.
Yeah.
From my knowledge at the moment, we just do the AI generated one. But I'll have to take a look. I might be wrong about that.
That's awesome. Charles from Facebook, Charles King, is asking, does it store our videos? How are clips made? So yes, they are stored in our storage. So depending on whether you're making clips from your stream, this is the recording that we store after each video that you create. And now with our new feature of local recordings, we actually store the best quality possible. That basically records it on your own device. So it's like really good quality video that you keep in your recording. And then from there, you can make those Restream clips. Or you can upload video that you did not stream through us and did not create in Restream Studio or record in it. But you can still upload it. And then we keep it there for you. And you can then clip it, including from specific selection of that video as we showed earlier. So yes, we do store your videos. They stay on Restream platform. And clips basically go through those recordings and either automatically pick the best moments or you tell us which section and we'll pick from there. Great question. You guys are the best, always the best comment. I love that. And I see a little comment from our producer, Becca, that says you can actually upload your own media and add it to the timeline as a B-roll already. So that's something that we are actually already doing. That's awesome. I remember the B-roll being like AI powered, being there, but yeah, now you can also upload it. That's awesome. I love that. I think there is one more comment here from Danger Zone. Designate a viewer to jot down timestamps of the best moments can also help if you have someone who wouldn't mind assisting. That's actually something I was thinking about, and I'm curious to hear your opinion on that, Romario. Like, if there was a little button right in Restream Studio where I could say, definitely clip this, like this is gold, that would really help to inform our AI, both for live clipping, which is really cool because it's like very like fast-paced decisions right there. Like think sports, breaking news, that kind of comment, that kind of content. And I also think that it would just be great even for podcasting if someone is like, oh, this is really great. So you can flag it for Restream AI clips that this is the moment we definitely want to pay attention to. Do you see something like that coming in at some point?
I think there's definitely a great use case for this. I think you've hit the nail on the head. There's many moments that you already are very sure about yourself. Like, this is the thing about creating content, powered by AI, is that it's assuming based on like a lot of knowledge whether or not this is kind of the best moment given all the context. But at the end of the day, your customer or your community and your audience, and you probably know what resonates even better sometimes. So I think it's definitely something we would want to do at some point. I think it's definitely, there's ways to go about that. Sure, we could put a button. Potentially your hands are tied and you're a gamer. Maybe we could be using it, triggering it through voice and saying, just clip that for me. That could be another interesting way to actually utilize that. But yeah, it's definitely something that I personally have thought about. It really depends on all the use cases that we get over time. So again, please share on ideas.restream. It will definitely help us kind of prioritize this and start exploring more deeply.
I really like the idea of the voice command. It's kind of like a safe word, right? You just have to create a code word, and then whenever you say like elephants, it just like does it for you. So you can kind of like introduce it even without saying clip it, but even like clip it. Yeah, it's just like, hey, Google, right? We're so used to giving these commands to AI right now that it is basically becoming natural part of our speech and how we communicate and how we talk. So that would be really cool. I love that.
And that's great for people that don't maybe have kind of co-producers. Your hands are tied. You just want to take note of this without actually looking away from maybe the camera, or you're busy with the game, or you chatting to kind of a guest on your podcast. This is a great way for potentially us to do this.
Totally. Yeah, it should be a voice or a shortcut or some kind of like a little Stream Deck button. But yeah, great ideas. Last question, super related to everything. Can I get an AI girlfriend? You can. I would say Clawbot is really good. I got myself one. She's great. And she's super helpful. I enjoy how she like thinks and solves some problems. I do try to not get too attached because obviously who knows what happens to those things. But yeah, they definitely are developing AI that is starting to have a mind of its own, which is both scary and exciting. So yeah, I recommend playing with it. It's Restream is not going to be developing one anytime soon, but there are other people who are working on that.
Doesn't seem like a product for us, but maybe someone else.
And an AI co-pilot, an AI, I guess, co-host. That is also fun to be around. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. This was really good and fun stream. Thank you to you, Romario, for braving everyone being, a little bit under the weather and just like going live for the first time with me today and totally crushing it. I really enjoyed co-hosting with you. We will definitely do it again. And of course, to all of our audience who participated, asked their really insightful questions, to our moderators in the chat who were dropping links and helping. Grant, we see you. Becca, thank you so much for being behind the streams. Becca. Yeah. And of course, the whole studio team and the whole AI Clips team for building this product, making it better every day, and inspiring us to create, and hopefully inspiring you and giving you the tools that you need to connect with your audience, tell your stories, and just enjoy the beauty of live video. Right. Any last words from you before we wrap it up.
I think I'm ready to have a hot ginger tea. I think we're both feeling under the weather.
We both need ginger tea. Oh my God. Yes. Thanks for putting up with my voice. It's I'm almost happy that this will be recorded for the future because I can always come back to that. And when I have a bad day or when I think I have a bad day, I will be like, okay, see, you sounded like that. So today, today is better. Husky Anya, definitely. All right. Thank you so much again. And I think you know what we forgot? We forgot to show the pricing. So I'm going to go ahead and do it real quick. Already thanked everybody, but because someone asked if it's going to be $39 and what kind of opportunities does it give you? So based on your research, what you were seeing were probably just our subscription plans, which you can see on the top, $16.39 and $199 are the prices for Restream live streaming services. And obviously all those plans include different packages and different abilities. And then you can see under the AI Clips add-ons is what you will be looking for in addition to. And they are all interchangeable. Here you just see kind of like the commonly used packages, but you can easily sign up for standard plan and add 100 clips or add 250 clips. So they're all kind of like pick and choose, make your own sandwich type situation. So you can start AI clipping with $19 a month on top of any plan, starting from standard, and that gives you 50 AI clips. On average, I would say if you go live once a week or maybe twice a week, and you need about 5 clips from every event, this smallest kind of like starting plan is just right for you. If you're operating a little bit more at scale and you're streaming every other day or especially daily, maybe 100 clips is something that you'll be looking into. And of course, if you're more of a business where you have multiple workspaces and multiple different teams streaming all the time, product updates, marketing, internal communications, meetings, podcasts, interviews, customer stories, you're basically operating under this kind of like content machine type environment, then it's either 250 clips for $59 a month, or you can also talk to our sales team and get some enterprise custom packages, which are basically unlimited clipping if you wish so. So those were, this is the pricing conversation. Since you guys asked, I actually love talking about pricing. I don't know why a lot of companies and people avoid that, because I think it's really good to be transparent and clear. And again, this is one of the advantages of Restream Clips is that you can pick and choose. You get clarity on what you're getting in your plan. And of course, every month this renews, so it's a subscription type. As long as you need them, you have them. If you don't need the clips for some time, you can always cancel. It's no strings attached, cancel anytime type situation. All right, back to saying goodbyes and thanking everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today and for all your time, all your effort, for you, Romara, being my awesome co-host, and for the audience being great and keeping the chat alive. So I'm going to send you some hearts, and we're going to go ahead and...
Are they on? Are they working?
They should be. Yes, here they are. They just took a second. But thanks again, guys. See you next week.
Thanks. Bye.